defenders.
We are defenders of Zion.
We are the defenders.
Yeah.
We are the defenders.
We are defenders of Zion.
We are the defenders.
We are defenders of Zion.
This class right here is for unbelief. This class right here is for you and me. This class right here means everything. Everything that an Israelite needs to be. This class right here is for unbelief. This class right here is for you and me. This class right here means everything. Everything that an Israelite needs to be.
No one told us life could get this hard. Everybody failed except the Lord. When I feel like I ain't coming through, I see these issues don't apply to you. Had to change my path, change my ways. All of this heart attack don't last always. The most I make us kings to serve as slaves. I'ma be an Israelite to the grave.
We are the defenders.
We are defenders of Zion.
We are the defenders.
Yeah.
We are the defenders.
We are defenders of Zion.
We are the defenders.
We are defenders of Zion.
All right, shalom. Most High in Christ bless to everybody that's tuning in. Happy Sabbath, all right, and happy Feast of Tabernacles, all right. Today's topic is should we celebrate our birthday? Okay, should we celebrate our birthday? This is the question. Okay, let's open up with 2nd Esdras, chapter 7. 2nd Esdras, chapter 7, and let's read verse 20.
Shalom, happy Sabbath to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. Happy Sabbath. The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7, and verse 20. For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of God that is set before them.
So the Bible say, there are people that die because they really do despise God's laws, okay? And a lot of the mistakes that people make is they believe that everything in the Bible that's for them is supposed to be plain to see. But what you don't understand is that there are things in this Bible that are hidden purposefully. There are also stumbling blocks within this Bible purposefully. Okay? And you have to understand that these stumbling blocks, these traps are set for a reason. Right? Now, if you stumble upon these things and you fall upon these things, understand that it was a test and it was meant to happen exactly the way it happened. Right? But read that from the top.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7, and verse 20. For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of God that is set before them. Verse 21. For God hath given straight commandments to such as Cain.
For God hath given straight commandment to such as Cain. What this means is that the things that you need for salvation, those things have been given to you, right? And you have took it upon yourself to despise these things. Talking about show me in the Bible where I can find that at. Then when it showed to you, you talking about, well, that ain't plain to see. Well, obviously, the Bible does not say, thou shalt not celebrate your birthday. It ain't in there like that. The Bible don't tell you, thou shalt not smoke cigarettes. It ain't in there like that. Now, this is why the Bible is talking about a straight commandment. Because even though it's told unto you, You have tried everything in your power to make it vain. You have tried everything in your power to take a straight commandment and make it difficult. Come on.
From the top. For God hath given straight commandment to such as came, what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment.
And what they should observe to avoid punishment. Right, come on.
Nevertheless,
come on.
They were not obedient unto him, but spake against him, and imagined vain things.
That's the key part right there. Imagine vain things, man. That means a straight commandment is given to you. Brother, you're not supposed to be celebrating your birthday. It's idolatry, okay? And what do our people do? They imagine a vain thing. Oh, you know, that ain't really idolatry. You know, we just doing it for the kids. That's all. Let's go to the book of Leviticus. Because this is why the Bible says straight commandment, man. A straight commandment, it is precept upon precept. Right? That's what that means. Okay. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 18. And let's read verse 3.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 18, and verse 3. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do. Neither shall ye walk in their ordinances.
Neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. This is that straight commandment right here. The straight commandment is the ordinances and the manners of the Egyptians shall ye not do. That is that straight commandment that has been given. Read that from the top.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 18, and verse 3. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do.
Shall ye not do. Let's go to the book of Genesis. Genesis chapter 40. Right? Genesis chapter 40 and verse 20.
The book of Genesis, chapter 40 and verse 20. And it came to pass the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday.
Pharaoh's birthday. Now remember what we just read. Right? Come on.
That he made a feast until...
Wait. Read that from the top.
And it came to pass the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all his servants.
He made a feast unto all his servants. Now keep in mind, this is an ordinance right here. On this man's birthday, he has decided to make a feast. Come on.
And he lifted up the head of the chief butler and of the chief baker among his servants.
You have to ask yourself a question. We have just read, after the doings of the land of Egypt shall ye not do. Birthdays is an ordinance of the land of Egypt, sir. Ma'am. And who is this addressed to? This is addressed to you so-called blacks and you so-called Hispanics whose fathers are of Negroid and Indian descent. You are the biblical Israelites that the Bible speaks of, and we have a duty to keep God's commandments in the faith in Christ. Right? Read that from the top.
The book of Genesis, chapter 40 and verse 20. And it came to pass the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all his servants.
Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon. And you know, to be honest with you, we could close out right here. Because, you know, the Bible, he have given straight commandment. Now, you might be reading that Genesis 40 and 20. But then you see precept upon precept. The Lord said not to follow those ordinances. Now, if you do that, what you have done is you have despised the law. And the Lord could put you to death for that. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 12.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 12. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
For the devising of idols is the beginning of spiritual fornication. Okay? Going against your God, okay, committing all different type of whoredom. It started with idolatry, right? Putting together these idols. An idol can be anything that you put up on a pedestal, okay? That could be you, okay? That could be your neighbor, okay? That could be silver or gold or wood or anything. It could be an ideology. Anything that you put up above the Most High on that pedestal, that's idolatry.
Be on child.
Right? Come on.
Verse 20, verse 12. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them, the corruption of life.
The corruption of life. So what it's showing you is that when idolatry came upon the sons of God, it immediately activated death on us. That's the thing that you have to understand, right? That this idolatry, putting yourself up on a pedestal like that, is the beginning of corruption of life, man, which is death. Come on.
For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever.
Neither were they from the beginning, neither will they be forever. These idols are not real. Okay? These things are not real. Come on.
For by the vain glory of men.
By the what?
By the vain glory of men.
By the vain glory of men. Every year, you want to put yourself up on that pedestal. You want to wear your crown. You know, you want to go out with your best outfit and say, today, this is my day. When every other day, you'll open up your mouth and say, this is the day that the Lord has made. That's vain glory. Come on.
For by the vain glory of men they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end.
Therefore shall they come shortly to an end. Now, as you begin to read, you begin to see this is an example of idolatry right here. Read on.
For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he hath made an image of his child.
When he hath made an image of his child, man. When you begin to read, you see that he made his child an idol. He made his child an idol. Okay? Let's go to Ephesians 5. Ephesians chapter 5. And let's read verse 5.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5, and verse 5. For this ye know that no whoremonger.
No whoremonger. Okay? Remember what we was just reading. Spiritual fornication. No whoremonger. Come on.
Nor unclean person.
Nor unclean person. Come on.
Nor covetous man.
Covetous man. That man, a covetous man, is wanting something that somebody else got. And you know how people do. You know, such and such birthday was last month. I'm going to show them up. I'm going to do it real big this year. You know, I like what they had, so I think I'm going to get the same cake at my birthday just so they know I'm showing them up. Come on.
Nor covetous man, who is an idolater.
Who is an idolater, man. If you celebrating your birthday, that's you. Come on.
Hath an inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and of God.
It say that you don't have an inheritance, man, because you have made yourself an idol. You putting yourself on that pedestal. You're covetous. You're a whoremonger. And you refuse to stop. Come on.
Let no man deceive you with vain words.
Let no man deceive you with vain words, man. Oh, well, brother, you know, man, I'm just doing it because, you know, my family threw me a surprise party. So, you know, it'd be rude if I ain't come in, you know. Well, you know, man, my kid, you know, they turned 6 the other day. And, you know, they was talking about, you know, they wanted a birthday party. So, you know, I'm doing it for the kids. Come on.
Let no man deceive you with vain words.
Uh-huh.
For because of these things cometh the wrath of God upon the children of disobedience.
Upon the children of disobedience, man. The Lord literally told you, after the doings of the land of Egypt shall ye not do. And the Pharaoh celebrated his birthday. That's a part of their ordinances, brother. Sister, come on.
Be not ye therefore partakers with them.
Be not partakers with them, man. So if you around somebody and they celebrating their birthday, you need to get away from them, okay? If somebody telling you happy birthday, you need to get away from them. Don't partake with them. They tell you, oh, happy birthday, tell them, I don't celebrate that. That's an abomination to the Most High. I bet you they won't tell you next year. Come on.
For ye were sometimes darkness.
For ye were sometime darkness. You used to do that stuff. Come on.
But now are ye light in the Lord.
Now are ye light in the Lord. Come on.
Walk as children of light.
Walk as children of light. This means in order for you to be a children of light, man, you have to separate yourself from idolatry. This idolatry is one of the main things that pisses the Lord off. You know, when you start understanding the truth, you start seeing, man, the Lord hates idolatry. The Lord hates adultery. These things are number one on the Lord's not to do list. You have to be able to discern, and you have to be able to see the traps that people will lay out for you to get you to celebrate your birthday, man. They'll tell you, well, I know, you don't celebrate it, but, I just thought I'd slide you this gift card. No, thank you. You an abomination to your God. You need to repent. Give it back to him. That's how you supposed to operate in this, man. Don't delight in goods unjustly gotten, man. They probably bought it on the Sabbath anyway. Let's go to Sirach. Sirach chapter 33. Sirach chapter 33, and let's read verse 7.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, chapter 33, and verse 7.
Uh-huh.
Why doth one day excel another, when as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun?
So it say, why doth one day excel another? So why do we see some days are greater than others? Right? Come on.
By the knowledge of the Lord, they were distinguished.
By the knowledge of the Lord, they were distinguished. So the Lord is the one that's saying this day is going to be a high day, and this day is going to be regular. The Lord distinguishes. Come on.
Some of them hath he made high days, and hallowed them. And some of them hath he made ordinary days.
Read verse 8 from the top.
Verse 8. By the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished, and he altered seasons and feasts. Some of them hath he made high days, and hallowed them. And some of them hath he made ordinary days.
So now, the Lord has decided what days are going to be high holy days, and the Lord has decided which days are going to be ordinary days. If you take it upon yourself to say, today is my day, and I'm going to celebrate myself today, and I'm going to have cake, and I'm going to have family come down and sing happy birthday to me, sir, ma'am, that is idolatry. You are setting yourself up on a pedestal. And quite frankly, the Lord told you not to do that. Period. That's it. The Lord said no. Good gracious. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. The Lord said no. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 1.
The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 1. A good name is better than a precious ointment.
A good name is better than precious ointment. What this is saying is that your reputation, all right, is very valuable. Come on.
And the day of death than the day of one's birth.
The Bible say that the day you die is better than the day of your birth, because when you die, you have a reputation that you leave behind. You have an example of who you were as a person, and if you have a good memory that you leave behind, that's just as valuable as precious ointment. But the day of your birth is not so, because you don't have a reputation. And quite frankly, you only have one day that you were born. That's your birthday. The next year is technically not your birthday, because it's a different year, brother. It ain't the same date anyway. You have to start seeing, wait a minute, not only do the Bible just give a straight commandment and say, after the doings of the land of Egypt shall ye not do, but it also gives you hints on the side. The day of your death better than the day of your birth. You know, we see the prophets keep saying they hated the day of their birth. You gonna ignore all of that? You gonna ignore the Lord's straight commandment? That's a problem. The book of Job. The book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 1.
The book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 1. There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job. And that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and eschewed evil.
So you have Job. The Bible is saying that Job was a perfect man. Okay? If somebody is perfect, that means that they are walking in God's commandments to the best of their ability, man. The Lord looks at them as being spotless. That's what that means, to be perfect. The Lord sees them as completely sinless. They have no faults. They have done everything the Lord asked them to do. They are perfect. The Bible say that Job was perfect. So should we look at Job as an example of how to conduct ourselves? Absolutely. Come on.
Verse 2. And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters.
There were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. Come on.
His substance also was 7,000 sheep and 3,000 camels.
So this man was very wealthy. Come on.
And 500 yoke of oxen and 500 she-asses, and a very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all the men of the east. And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day.
Every one his day. So now we're reading that Job's sons made themselves a feast on their day. Okay? The beauty of the Bible, precept upon precept, is the Bible gives you a definition of everything. So now let's go into the Bible and see what it means when it says they celebrated his day. Right, chapter 3. Job chapter 3 and verse 1.
The book of Job, chapter 3 and verse 1. After this opened Job his mouth and cursed his day.
Job cursed his day. Right, come on.
And Job spake and said, let the day perish wherein I was born.
What is his day?
Wherein I was born.
His birthday. That's what that means when it's talking about his day. Why is Job saying curse his day? Come on.
And the night in which it was said, there is a man-child conceived. Let that day be darkness. Let not God regard it from above. Neither let the light shine upon it. Let darkness and the shadow of death stain it. Let a cloud dwell upon it. Let the blackness of the day terrify it. As for that night, let darkness seize upon it. Let it not be joined unto the days of the year. Let it not come into the number of the months.
Do you feel the same way? Job is a perfect man. Why is he saying this? Why ain't he talking about let's bring on the party hats and the balloons and the candles? You ain't lining up with a perfect man, a perfect prophet according to the Bible. Job said, "Cursed be his day, his birthday." Let's go back to chapter 1. verse 4.
The book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 4. And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day.
Their birthday, come on.
And sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and to drink with them.
To eat and to drink with them. Notice it's saying the same thing Pharaoh done when we read in Genesis 40 and 20. Pharaoh celebrated his birthday. He called a great feast. Called the bakers and the servants and said, come and eat. The Lord said not to do that, man. They doing it. Come on.
And it was so, when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings, according to the number of them all. For Job said, it may be that my sons have sinned, and cursed God in their hearts. Thus did Job continually.
So Job's sons celebrated their birthday. And after they got done, Job rose up and Job offered burnt offerings according to the number of all of them. And he said, it may be that my sons have sinned and cursed God. Why would this perfect man be offering burnt offerings for them celebrating their birthday if everything was hunky-dory? You know, if it's, you know, we celebrating our birthday, ain't no problem. We doing it for the kids, right? It's all good. It's all love. No, you dweeb. He offered burnt offerings. Give me Leviticus 1 and 2. Why do you offer burnt offerings according to the Bible? Let's see. Leviticus chapter 1 and verse 2.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 1 and verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, if any man of you bring an offering unto the Lord, ye shall bring your offering to the cattle, even of the herd and of the flock. If his offering be a burnt offering,
burnt sacrifice
of the herd, let him offer a male without blemish. He shall offer it of his own voluntary will at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord. And it shall put his hand upon the head of the burnt offering, and it shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him.
It shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him, man. This burnt offering is for an atonement for your sin. If Job is offering a burnt offering for his sons, that means that he knew they was in the midst of sin, man. The Lord told you not to celebrate your birthday. And Job's sons was doing it anyway. And don't get it twisted too. You can make an atonement for other people. I know people in the back of their mind is going, well, the Bible say you have to do it at your own will, own voluntary will. Let's go to Exodus chapter 32. Exodus 32. Right. In verse 30.
The book of Exodus, chapter 32 and verse 30. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses said unto the people, ye have sinned a great sin.
Ye have sinned a great sin. So now, look at Moses. Moses is telling the children of Israel, look, you just committed a sin. The same way Job saw his sons, he said, you committed a sin. Come on.
And now I will go up unto the Lord. Peradventure I shall make an atonement for your sin.
What he was going to do?
Make an atonement for your sin.
Make an atonement for your sin, man. This is what a burnt offering is put forth for. All offerings are for sin. All sacrifices are for sin. When you commit a sin, it's a sacrifice. But what we're reading in the scriptures, man, you don't give no burnt offering if ain't no sin, man. Let's go back to Job. Job 1 and 5.
The book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 5. And it was so, when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all.
Burnt offerings is offered for sin, sir, ma'am. You can't make this stuff up, man. Come on.
And it was so, when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job said, it may be that my sons have sinned, and cursed God in their hearts. Thus did Job continually.
You have to understand, what they done was wicked, man. What they done was wicked. Let's jump down to let's read verse let me see. I don't want to read the whole thing. Jump down to verse 18.
The book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 18. While he was yet speaking, there came also another, and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness, and smote the four corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee.
Why are we reading these men celebrated their birthday, right? And Job is saying, look, maybe my sons have sinned, and next thing you know, the Lord sent a wind to kill his sons and daughters. Because all throughout the scriptures, what we've been reading is the Lord will kill you for doing this, man. We keep reading it over and over, and you still talking about, we gonna do it for the kids anyway. We had a brother today, man. I told the brother, I said, brother, Halloween is not of the Lord. He said, I agree with you, man, but we gotta have something for the kids. I said, brother, we got something for the kids. We got feast days for the kids, brother. The Lord gave us feast days that we delight in. And he said, well, you know what? You got a point there. I said, yeah, the Lord gave us feast days to celebrate. Because our people in the world, they feel like, all of the stuff that they celebrate, they have to do it for their kids. But they don't realize all the energy that you put forth into their birthday, you can put that energy into the Feast of Tabernacles. You can put that energy in the Feast of Dedication. You can put that energy in the Day of Atonement. The Lord's feast days, he made for us to celebrate and be glad. But you have chosen not to do those things. You have went away from the straight commandment, man. Let's go to Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 10. Matter of fact, let's go to chapter 20 first. Jeremiah 20 and verse 14.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 20 and verse 14.
Let's read verse 13 first.
Verse 13. Sing unto the Lord. Praise ye the Lord, for he hath delivered the soul of the poor from the hand of evildoers.
This is the prophet Jeremiah. Okay, this is also a righteous man that is talking about singing praises to the Lord with joyfulness and gladness. That's the type of spirit that he in. Joyfulness. Come on.
Cursed be the day wherein I was born.
Now, if he is singing praises unto the Lord, why did the script just flip? And cursed be the day wherein I was born. Come on.
Let not the day wherein my mother bare me be blessed. Cursed be the man who brought tidings to my father, saying, a man-child is born unto thee, making him very glad. And let that man be as the cities which the Lord overthrew, and repented not. And let him hear the cry in the morning, and the shouting at noontide. Because he slew me not from the womb, or that my mother might have been my grave, and her womb to be always great with me. Wherefore came I forth out of the womb to see labor and sorrow, that my days should be consumed with shame.
This is a prophet, man. This is a righteous prophet that's telling you that his day, his birthday is a curse to him. Because what was he born into? Nothing but sorrows and vanity, man. This is why the Bible say the day of your death is better than birth. Because for one, you came here and you did what you had to do, and hopefully you leave behind a good reputation, which is better than ointment. But being born into this nature of sin, it's not a day for you to take it and celebrate that every year. Let's go to Luke. At this point, these are assisting scriptures right here. We already proved that Pharaoh celebrated his birthday. The Lord say, after the doings of the land of Egypt, shall ye not do. Period. Right? Luke 14 and 11.
The book of Luke, chapter 14 and verse 11. For whosoever exalteth himself.
Oh, today my birthday, brother.
For whosoever exalteth himself.
Ain't you gonna buy me something?
For whosoever exalted himself shall be abased. And he that humbleth himself shall be exalted.
Whosoever exalteth himself shall be abased. You have to ask yourself a serious question. When you celebrate your birthday, are you exalting yourself? Because some people go all out and get a whole throne to sit on. Ain't that what they be doing? They take their
crown and everything,
sit on the throne and take their picture like this. You celebrating your birthday, man. That's idolatry. You exalting yourself. But the Bible say you're going to be abased, man. Let's go to Jeremiah. Let's go back to Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 10. Good old Jeremiah 10. And let's read verse 1.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10 and verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
Hear this word, house of Israel. Come on.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
Learn not the way of the heathen, man. The ways of the heathen are the ordinances and the customs that they have created. That don't have nothing to do with your culture, brother. Sister, come on.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them.
Come on.
For the customs of the people are vain.
The Bible say the customs of the people are vain, man. It say, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, man. So let's take a look at something real quick. We have right here, this is the Satanic Bible right here, man. The Satanic Bible. So you ask yourself a question. Does this qualify as a custom of the heathen? When they say learn not the way of the heathen, do you think that this includes the Satanic Bible? Absolutely. God. It's the Satanic Bible, sir. Let's take a look at what it say right here. If you got the Satanic Bible, I hope you don't. We on page 96, okay? Page 96, it say right here. The highest of all holidays in the satanic religion is the date of one's own birth. This is in direct contradiction to the holy of holy days of other religions. The Satanist feels, why not really be honest? And if you are going to create a God in your image, why not create that God as yourself? Every man is a God if he chooses to recognize himself as one. So the Satanist celebrates his own birthday as the most important holiday of the year, man. We read in the Satanic Bible. Do you subscribe to this? Because if you say no and you celebrate your birthday, you a liar. Give me Proverbs 12 and 22, man. You a liar. You following Satan. This is not of the Most High, man. We reading this out the Satanic Bible, man. I mean, at the end of the day, how rebellious is you gonna be, man? Look this stuff up, man. Page 96. This is the book of Satan himself. The so-called white man. Bring it out.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 12 and verse 22. Lying lips are abomination to the Lord.
No, I don't celebrate my birthday. I do it for the kids.
Lying lips are abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight.
They that deal truly are his delight, man. They that deal truly say, you know what? Birthdays is the highest holiday in the satanic religion. I'm not going to partake in that because the Lord say, learn not the way of the heathen. You know, we see Pharaoh celebrating his birthday, and the Bible say not to do what the Egyptians do. So you know what? I'm not going to celebrate that, man. You have to open up your eyes, man. All right, let's go to Matthew. Matthew chapter 2. Let's go to Matthew chapter 2. And let's read verse 12.
The book of Matthew, chapter 2 and verse 12. And being warned of God in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed into their own country another way. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise, and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt. And be thou there until I bring thee word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him.
So keep in mind what's going on, man. This is Herod, okay? He's the ruler of the Romans. He's trying to kill Christ Jesus. This man is trying to kill the Lord himself. Right? This is how the nations operate, man. Always trying to kill the firstborn. Keep that in mind. This is Herod. He's trying to kill the Lord. Let's go to Mark. Let's go to the book of Mark, chapter 6. Mark chapter 6 and verse 20.
The book of Mark, chapter 6 and verse 20. For Herod feared John, knowing that he was a just man, and an holy, and observed him. And when he heard him, he did many things, and heard him gladly. And when a convenient day was come, that Herod on his birthday made a supper to his lords, high captain, and chief estates of Galilee.
So here we go again. First we seen Pharaoh doing it, and now we see Herod doing it. Herod celebrating his birthday, right? He made a supper to his lords, high captains, and chief estates of Galilee. Come on.
And when the daughter of the said Herodias came in and danced and pleased Herod.
Right. So this is one of the women in the kingdom. Come on.
Came in and danced and pleased Herod, and them that sat with him. The king said unto the damsel, ask of me whatsoever thou wilt, and I will give it thee.
Oh, so he's celebrating his birthday. You know, he had one of these women come in and do a little dance. She's a thought box, what you would call today. Come on.
And he sware unto her, whatsoever thou shalt ask of me, I will give it thee unto the half of my kingdom. And she went forth and said unto her mother, what shall I ask? And she said, the head of John the Baptist.
The head of John the Baptist. Come on.
And she came in straightway with haste unto the king, and asked, saying, I will that thou give me by and by in a charger the head of John the Baptist. And the king was exceeding sorry, yet for his oath's sake, and for their sakes which sat with him, he would not reject her. And immediately the king sent an executioner, and commanded his head to be brought, and he went and beheaded him in the prison. And he brought his head in a charger, and gave it to the damsel, and the damsel gave it to her mother. And when his disciples heard of it, they came and took up his corpse, and laid it in a tomb.
So now, you have Herod, right? The same man that tried to kill Christ. He celebrated his birthday. Is this the type of man? Is this the type of custom that you want to follow after? Would this be considered the ways of the heathen? Because on this man's birthday, he killed John the Baptist, man. Beheaded this man. Is this what you want to be a part of? I hope the answer is no. But our people still don't care, man. You could go and just slice their grandparents open and they'll still say, we're going to celebrate these birthdays. We're gonna follow these customs. And see, that's the problem, man. We've been in slavery for so long, our people have forgotten who their real enemy is. They've forgotten who their enemy is, man. And you forgot who your friends are. Right? Because at the end of the day, everybody knows, the people that give you constructive criticism and will tell you the truth, those are your real friends, man. But the people that won't tell you the truth and that'll fake it with you, come on, man. We have to start realizing that these nations are not our friends. These nations speak smooth things to you, and you suck it up. We had a sister at Popeyes today when we was at camp. She didn't even know what we was teaching. She flipped us off, saying, I don't want to hear that. And it come to the point where we're telling you that you are God-chosen people. And your whole response to us telling you God-chosen people is, please don't tell me I'm God-chosen people. Please don't tell me the Lord chose me. But then when the so-called white man tell you special, you go out and buy you a birthday cake. You go out and say, well, I'm going to celebrate myself today. This is my day. That's ridiculous, man. Let's go to 2 Maccabees. It's ridiculous, man. 2 Maccabees chapter 6. And let's read verse 1.
The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 1. Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of God.
So you have to understand, we start going through these different captivities and you start to realize, dang, all of the nations is doing this. All the nations is trying to separate us from the law, celebrating their birthday. Come on.
And to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter, Olympus.
After the Greek gods, come on.
And that in garrison of Jupiter, the defender of strangers, as they did desire that dwelt in the place. The coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people. For the temple was filled with riot and reveling by the Gentiles, who dallied with harlots, and had to do with women with the circuit of the holy places.
So once again, you know, just like when we read in the Romans, the Greeks doing the same thing. They got women coming in, you know, dancing all over the place, jiggling all over the place. Come on.
And besides that, brought in things that were not lawful. The altar was also filled with profane things, which the law forbiddeth. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
So what you got going on is these Greeks are now trying to completely cut off us from following our culture and our heritage, from keeping our commandments. They trying to cut us off from that. So when they do that, what do? They bring in their own customs and put them on you. Come on.
And in the day of the king's birth.
In the what?
And in the day of the king's birth.
In the day of the king's birth. Here we go again. Come on.
Every month.
Every month they doing this, man. Every month on the day of the king's birth they doing this. Come on.
Every month they were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices. And when the feast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus carrying ivy.
This is where you get those when you see the Greeks coming in with those ivy branches and stuff. They got them on the side of their head and everything, man. This is not our custom, man. And they got our people doing this stuff, man. You still following these customs. You still following your birthday, man. Let's go to Proverbs 3 and 31. Right. Proverbs 3 and 31.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
Envy thou not the oppressor. Come on.
And choose none of his ways.
And choose none of his ways, man. That means exactly what it means, man. If the heathen has a custom or ordinance that they have made, it's not for us to follow that, man. We supposed to be following the Lord, our God, man. Following his laws, his commandments, his statutes that he set before us only. That should make you feel good to know that we have a heritage. We have a culture. And even though you didn't know about it as you grew up, but you found out about it now. Now is the time for you to separate from those customs and come into the knowledge of the truth, man. So you know, I know better now, man. I read in the Bible, captivity, the Greek captivity, the Roman captivity, Egyptian captivity, they celebrated their birthday. And over the Lord tell us not to do that, man. So the real question is, who you gonna serve? The book of Acts, chapter 5 and verse 29.
The book of Acts, chapter 5 and verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
We're going to obey God rather than men every single day, man. Keep in mind that the closeout of the Feast of Tabernacles starts Monday night, okay? And the feast is completely over Tuesday night, right? Remember, stay in the spirit. Focus on what you need to improve, right? And with that, we say,
Shalom.